Like, this is called the Pesky Report. Like,
welcome back to the Pesky Report, episode 580, presented by Beyond the Monster. I'm Jordan, joined by Brian and Jack. Boys, how are we doing today?
Good.
They won a series.
I know. Oh, series that we're recording. This is fantastic.
I know. This never happens. And they scored runs. Like,
a lot of them too.
I know. Like, I'm feeling a 4-letter word coming on.
Yeah, 4-letter word. Definitely, we're at 4-letter word stage. We're not at the actual word itself yet. Before we get into this episode and the series recap, this episode's brought to you by TJ Stats, advanced MLB stats, including pitcher summaries, prospect rankings, and live pitch data. Head on over to tjstats.ca and use promo code PESKY for 25% off your first month. So yeah, fun series. We finally get to talk about a series win. They finally won a Sunday. Like, this is wonderful. Maybe to steal something from the Hourback report, Sunday pods, like with the Wednesday pods, Celtics never lose on Wednesdays. Red Sox can maybe start a trend of not losing on Sunday. So at least we have a little bit of juice going into the episode instead of just misery. Be a welcome sight. Be a very welcome sight. But obviously they did not win all three games.
I regret to inform you, next Sunday's game is Cam Schlittler.
And it's in the Bronx, right?
Yeah.
Right. So We'll check back in, and maybe they'll win the series at the very least, so we can pretend honorary Sunday win if they take 2 of 3 against the Yankees next weekend. And just hopefully don't let Schlittler embarrass them again. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. I beg. That's going to be a Sunday night game too, isn't it?
No, it's an afternoon game.
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. We don't have to be up at 11:30 p.m. talking about Cam Schlittler owning the Red Sox again. It'd be fantastic. And get that out of the way at like 4 o'clock.
Yeah, the Sunday night game is at Fenway later.
Oh, fantastic. Which probably will also be a Schlittler game, which means
Except
we will
it will
have
be
to...
like the game they decide to let Bello pitch the first inning again.
Oh my God, yes. Good segue getting us into game 1 of this series, which Brayan Bello did pitch. And I didn't watch the beginning of the game. So when I saw that the Red Sox were losing 4-0, I thought Bello just got blitzed, and I was like, oh, okay, we can finally stop this. Bello can only pitch with an opener gimmick. He's either just like, he is what he is on any given night. And then I looked at the stat line and saw that Tyler Samaniego got absolutely rinsed on TV. That was a brutal showing. Did either of you boys watch the entire game? So somebody could give me some thoughts on how Tyler Samaniego did.
Beginning of it.
I don't know why they left him in. Why they leave him in so long? I mean, like, he's getting lit up. I mean, I know it's the first inning, but like, I don't know. I mean, Bello pitched good out of the bullpen again, but I mean, that first inning was the game.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess you don't want to burn multiple relievers before going to your bulk guy. I mean, I don't know. I mean, at some point they got to pull the plug on Bello being a bulk guy, right? And just let him start the damn game. And if he sucks,
no, because he's bad at it.
Yeah, but like if he starts, like, can he do what Nick Pivetta did and just warm up and then run in from the bullpen before the game or before he takes the mound? Like, can we do it that way? Because
maybe. I mean, what ironically they have to do is get Bernie back.
I was just about to say
Bernie into Pivetta.
Is there a Bernie watch? Did his arm fall off yet? Did we ever track that?
No, but he has been quite bad of late. I know that.
It seems like you can buy low on him.
Yeah.
Oh, he's going to get released. Okay. All right.
Did pitch a scoreless inning today. His ERA now is at 3.70, but it was at like 0.71 for a little bit. It was under 1, I should say, for a little bit. Yeah. In May, he did not have a good May.
Okay.
In May, his ERA is 7.59.
Okay. 2 scoreless games last, Dodgers and San Francisco.
Yeah, and then today, I don't know who the Rockies played today. Oh, they played the Giants again, so he got another scoreless inning today.
Okay, cool.
Out of his belt, but under his belt. I mean, yeah. I mean, if you want to go back and bring Bernie back, I'm totally cool with that. I mean, I'm sure the Rockies have no problem getting rid of a 34-year-old middle reliever when they're not good. Like, I'm sure it would be a lot easier than it even sounds.
Coulomb for Bernie straight up.
Yeah, let's do that, and then they can maybe fix Danny Coulomb. fix him and then flip him at the deadline because he's making no money.
Sure.
Makes me sad seeing that Danny Coulomb now effectively holds Brendan Bernardino's roster spot. Because I loved Bernie.
I did too.
But I mean, they got to try something. I mean, they did try something different. They went with Samaniego instead of Giovanni Moran, and Samaniego somehow made Giovanni Moran look like John Lester as a starter because he got absolutely waxed. I don't know where else they could go. I mean, honestly, this seems like the perfect situation to use Ryan Watson.
Does that exist?
I mean, blowouts tend to be when he gets brought in, but like, I don't know if you want to find a way to maybe snake his ERA down to under 5, that would be maybe a nice idea. Have him start games, pitch an inning, maybe 2 if he gets a quick one, and then or Zach Kelly. Zach Kelly was a solid opener for a couple of years.
Yeah,
I mean, literally, like, I don't know why we have to have a lefty do it. If maybe the next one is calling up Edward Rivera and letting him open.
well, I think it's because like to try and like game them into playing all their righties for when Bello comes in the second, but they do know the other team knows what's happening. Like it's
right, like it's not. Yeah, I don't know. It's not like
it's not like it's a surprise.
It's not like the other teams. Like maybe tonight the Red Sox will let Tyler Samaniego pitch 4 innings instead of just 1. But yeah, he got smoked, and the Red Sox put up a valiant effort in the 5th inning. They scored 3 runs, but I mean ultimately they lost the game in the 1st inning. But Brayan Bello looked pretty good again. I mean, as an opener or not, as a bulk guy, his ERA is 0.71 in 4 of those outings. So he's been much better of late well, he's been very good in those such situations. Overall, his ERA is still in the mid to high 5s, but it's nice to get him off the leaderboard for worst pitchers in baseball because he's
Is it the same pitch mix though, Jordan? Is it the same pitches? Just he's executing? Like what's different?
The changeup is so much better. The changeup is the 4-letter word. The changeup is back, and when the changeup is working for Bello, I mean that's why everyone was so high on him as a prospect. If that pitch is working,
he can't throw the changeup in the 1st inning as a starter.
I don't know.
We're missing something. Really like if it's just one fucking pitch, like come on, like
is there something about the uncertainty of when, like what time he will actually be towing the slab, so he gets like extra work in the bullpen, just heaving changeups? I don't know. Is
he gassed for the warm up? I don't like something's different. It seems like it's mental for him because we got at last couple of games he's pitched pretty good.
Yeah, he was really good, and it wasn't because they completely abandoned the cutter. I know in his previous outing he had thrown only 2 of them. This outing he threw 11, and he didn't get smoked on it, which was nice. That was a nice change of pace. But yeah, I mean, sinker was solid. Changeup was elite.
Yeah, I mean 5 whiffs and 69% strikes on the changeup. ERA of 0.71 coming out of the pen. I have no reason to mess with it as of now, even though, you have to figure out that 1st inning now, but the rest of the innings feel really good at the moment.
Right.
Yeah, and like does it have to? I mean, I don't know. Maybe they're going into these games kind of hoping that the opener could give them a couple, and just Bello just happens to keep having to go the second because the opener gets smoked. Like, I mean, you think about it. This is what his fourth bulk outing. And I know one of them, I mean, obviously this one, Samaniego gave up 6 hits and 4 runs, but Moran against the Tigers threw 40 pitches in the 1st inning. So you're obviously not asking him to give you a second, and you're not going to burn multiple relievers just to get to Brayan Bello in the 3rd. Like, again, maybe it is as simple as just calling up Edward Rivera, having him pitch 2 innings or 3 innings, and then handing it off to Bello. Because I know they did it with like Darwinzon Hernandez when he first came up, and they were uncertain if they were going to have him as a starter or a reliever. So they gave him like 2 or 3 inning starts and then had somebody piggyback off of him.
Jordan, who's the guy at AAA right now that he's a free agent June 1st?
Tommy Kahnle.
Yeah. Did they say anything about that today or?
Well, it's weird. They're being really weird about him. I don't understand it. They were like, yeah, we're well aware that his opt-out is Monday. It's like, okay. Are you going to do something about that?
Yeah, he's been pretty good too, right?
Yeah, it's just been like the walks are the one thing for him that have not been good. Other than that, he's been solid. I mean, strikeouts have been fine. He's a finesse guy. He throws hard, but he's a changeup heavy guy. As we know, we've seen him throw like 40 in a game before.
Yeah.
I'd like to see him get an opportunity. It's just a matter of kind of maneuvering the roster around to add him to the 40 man,
Right.
and then also send him to the major leagues. So we're talking like DFAing Coulomb, optioning Weissert, and then calling up Rivera. Like that would be what I would do.
Right.
Or just sending Ryan Watson back to the Giants because why is he on the team? Because he's not good.
Right.
But I think they're treating him like the shiny new Chase Anderson that Craig Breslow loves having on the team. He just loves having.
Chase Anderson.
I do not. I don't. Remember that one start he had? It was against Cleveland, so it's topical. He got smoked in that game. Yeah, Chase Anderson. They brought him in like 4 days before the start of the season, and then they were like, "Yeah, you're going to be an integral part of this bullpen till mid-July." What a disaster. I think I was at his last outing with the Red Sox. I don't know if he pitched anymore after he came in extras against the Yankees. After that game where Tyler O'Neill dropped that fly ball in the gap off Trent Grisham's bat, and then Chase Anderson gave up like 4 runs in the 10th. I don't remember if he ever pitched for them again.
It's crazy how terrible Brad Keller was when they got him at the deadline, and ever since, Brad Keller's been like legitimately a very good high leverage reliever.
Yeah, it makes me sad. Although, yeah, this year is a little bit worse than last year, but yeah, still a 3.65 ERA.
Like Luis Garcia permanently sucked afterwards, which made me feel a little better about the whole thing. But
Lucas Sims too.
Yeah, but like Brad Keller is like legitimately a very good pitcher now.
Yeah, my favorite part of the Brad Keller renaissance is the fact that, or resurrection rather, is that he left the Red Sox and then just magically started throwing 3 miles an hour harder. Like it wasn't like a half mile an hour. He was just like, I'm sitting 94 and now I'm sitting 97. And that made me very angry, especially when he obliterated the Red Sox when the Sox went to Wrigley last year. That was not fun to bear witness to. But yeah, this game, was pretty much cut and dry. They did not get a good start out of Samaniego. Bello was good. The offense fought a little bit, but outside the 5th inning, they did precious little, and game was over 4-3. I don't think there's anything really to add to that one, which is nice because we want to talk about the fun games because we've talked about enough misery throughout the 2026 season.
They did out hit Cleveland, which is nice. I mean, they did get 10 hits. Like it's nice that like they can get 10 hits a game instead of like 3 hits, a walk, and something happens. Like it's the offense is doing something. Even the games they're losing, they're getting double-digit hits, which is nice.
Yeah, I do want to actually pose this question before we get into the 2 games because then it feels like we're talking, we're Monday morning quarterbacking these takes. I mean, maybe we still are because they scored 18 runs the last 2 days. But I saw a lot of stuff about like, firing all the coaches wasn't going to fix the problems with this team because they're still not scoring a whole lot of runs. But I think the offense has looked a lot better overall. It's just you're not getting the big hit, and it's unfortunate because oftentimes it's like Willier not getting the big hit,
right?
Or Duran outside of the home runs he'd hit. Like I think he was 4 for 18. A week ago he was 4 for 18 with runners in scoring position after the firing, and all 4 of the hits were home runs. And then he had like 9 strikeouts. But I feel like the offense has looked a lot better. And like Chad Tracy's been dealt a really crappy hand because not only is it a disaster to walk into, not only having to take over as the interim manager, but the entire coaching staff is a bunch of dudes from various parts of the organization that he's maybe never worked with.
He's seen him in Fort Myers. Maybe that's about it. But like if you look at the game though, right, Jordan? So Gasper was 2 for 4. IKF was 2 for 4. Meyer was 2 for 4. Durbin got a hit, but he's been doing better. If the bottom of your lineup, multiple guys are getting multiple hits, that's a really good sign. But then it's Duran only had 1 hit. Rafaela was 0 for 4. Abreu was 0 for 4. That was the reason they didn't win that game. I mean, you look at, the 4 runs in the first inning really kind of put them behind the 8 ball. But if any of those guys in the top of the lineup get a couple hits or a walk, that game's at least tied, and then it's anybody's game after that.
Yeah, definitely. And but yeah, on to put a bow on the point about the hand Tracy's been dealt, like he also has only gotten like 8 Roman Anthony games, so you're missing your best hitter anyway, or your best player anyway. Like not that Alex Cora didn't have to also deal with Roman Anthony injuries, but Roman played a bulk of the games that Cora got to manage this season. So it's not like Roman's just been out all season and it's a problem.
Counterpoint, Chad Tracy's gotten very few Trevor Story games, which Alex Cora did have to manage through.
That's true. That is true. You do have a point
for that. Now Chad Tracy is getting the best Durbin that we've got all season.
And on the point about Trevor Story, you can only imagine that groin issue had gotten worse the longer he had continued to try and play on it. So you could also argue that even though he got fewer Trevor Story games, he got the worst Trevor Story games. So I can narrative ball this all day. I will play the narrative ball game here all day. But yeah, it's just the Red Sox, I feel like, have done a much better job of at least putting together competitive at bats. The offense has really not been as much of an issue the last, couple of weeks, especially. It's ironically really been starting pitching, which we'll get to one of them, not this game, but the game after, when we talk about today's game.
Jordan, the game on, was it Wednesday we went to or whatever it was? I mean, that was fun, wasn't it? When they scored all the runs, it was awesome.
Oh yeah, I had a blast. And
it was like
the day
this is
after,
nice.
I did not have as much fun.
Well,
Then I went to the Greg game.
I think Jack was spotted selling peanuts at that game, so he had a mustache.
Yeah, I heard that
actually a mustache. That he in his closet he put it on.
I was fully at work and then at my sister's high school senior event. I have alibis all over the place for that.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, I would like to check those out. I would like to check those alibis, see how ironclad they are, Mister.
Right.
But yeah, no, I am, man. Greg Weishart. Now I'm mad, and he didn't even do horrible in this series, and I'm still mad about it. But anyway, yeah, Red Sox lose game 1 4-3. That brings us on to
one thing though. Also with game 1 that is worth noting, I guess, because I don't think we have talked about it, especially because I think the interview where Tracy said it was Saturday. But Mickey Gasper is the starting catcher of the Red Sox now.
Okay,
and
yeah,
that kind of began on Friday when he started behind the dish again. So feels like that's worth noting also.
Yeah, let's actually talk about that because it is weird. The Red Sox love doing this where they love making the roster even more awkward than it already is.
No.
So, like, obviously with the outfield situation, that's one thing. But now they have 3 catchers on the roster. They're not good enough to do that. So, like, if Mickey
who was the
Gasper,
catcher we had last year who never played?
Sable?
No, they got him like at the end of the year, and they kept like sending him down and back.
Oh, Ali Sanchez.
Ali Sanchez, yeah. And he never played.
He got like 1 at bat, I think.
And then they like bought him from the Mets after they lost him to waivers one of those times. And then like the second the Mets put him up, they were like, no, we want him back. And he never played. It was one of the most bizarre things I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, then is he even still in baseball? I'm not going to check. I don't care enough. But actually, Breslow probably checks on a daily basis. Like, what's Ali Sanchez up to? How can I get
a 50-50 shot? And one of the answers is yes. The other one's no.
Yes.
He's in the Yankees in Scranton. He's playing AAA baseball for the Yankees.
Oh, look at you.
How's he doing down there?
I'm going to click the extra tab, Jack, huh? Yeah, Scranton Wilkes-Barre, 36 games, hitting .235 with a 338 on-base percentage.
He's got 6 home runs.
Yeah.
Craig, he's got 6 home runs.
Don't let Craig know that, or we will have 4 catchers.
Craig, he's got more home runs than
in the Venezuelan League. I think that really put him over the edge.
Yeah. He's got 6 home runs. That's more than all the Red Sox catchers combined. And I think if you include AAA, it still is more than all the Red Sox catchers combined. I'm saying. I'm not advocating for this, but it's something
you're purely just reporting the news.
I'm doing my job as a journalism graduate, a graduate from Arizona State with a journalism degree. I'm reporting the
Walter
news.
Cronkite School of Journalism, right?
Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication, to give it the full government name.
There you go.
Just reporting the news. But yeah, the Red Sox are being really weird with the catcher situation because, like, if Mickey's going to be their number 1, more I guess against every right-handed pitcher, except for today because he played first with Contreras out of the lineup. So if he's going to catch against most righties, and we know he's going to probably catch Peyton Tolley no matter what, because that's kind of been what they've been doing anyway lately. And Connor Wong is Sonny Gray's personal catcher because we're doing that gimmick again in 2026. What on earth is Carlos Narvaez doing here? And like, is he going to? I mean, he started today and he had 2 hits, which was nice. He had a solid day at the plate. But like, this team's not good enough to house 3 catchers, and like, I don't really know how many lineups I can bear that have 33% of them being catchers like today. It worked today, and I hope Chad Tracy doesn't get any funny ideas, but I don't need there to be 3 catchers on this iteration of the Boston Red Sox. It was different in 2018 because you had 2 catchers, and then Blake Swihart caught sometimes, but played basically everywhere else.
Yeah.
This is 3 catchers. Straight, like, full stop, 3 catchers, and like Mickey Gasper will play first every once in a while. Like, you're not gonna see Connor Wong
every once in a while.
Yeah, you're not gonna see Connor Wong going shag fly balls in left field. Please don't. Actually, they don't need another outfielder. You're not gonna see him play third.
Are they just riding the hot hand? Like, he's hitting 340. Like, if he hits at 140, all of a sudden they pull the plug. But I mean, they need runs, they need hits, they need whatever.
Yeah, it's this weird. I agree, where it's like they need offense wherever they can get it.
Yep.
And right now, Gasper is their best option, even though, like, catcher, and this is something, Jordan and I are kind of always in complete alignment on. Catcher is the one position above all else. I generally do care about the defense more than anything else. And Narvaez is still so far and away their best option defensively behind the plate in terms of framing and in terms of throwing guys out compared to Wong.
But now you have so much better defense at all the other positions.
Totally.
Before you didn't. I mean, your outfield's pretty solid. Your infield is pretty damn good. And Gasper might not be perfect, but is he hurting you? Maybe.
I don't think he's helping you, though, is the thing. And like, that is
even, right? I mean, he's probably like a net zero defensively.
I think he's still below average.
Yeah, okay. I think he's probably. I'd still probably, if I had to, power rank them defensively, I'd still pretty comfortably put Mickey as the 3rd best,
which is fine.
Or I guess the worst.
I'm curious what the catcher's ERA is he has though.
I mean, it's not fair. He's catching Tolley, who's been nasty.
It happens, I mean, and if your girlfriend's hot, it's not your fault,
Yeah, I guess so. You got a point there, but I mean, he did also catch Ranger Suarez, not today, but last start, and Ranger got smoked. So I mean, who knows? I mean, it's like, I don't know. The catcher situation's interesting. I got into a conversation with somebody on the timeline about like, they said they don't think somebody short of Garrett Crochet should be allowed to have a personal catcher. And I'm like, we should be accommodating all of our starting pitchers. If a starter wants to Caleb Durbin behind the plate, like, let it happen. Like, everything until they start selling players off should be designed to salvage the 2026 season.
Oh, yeah.
And if for whatever reason Peyton Tolley's like, I really want another lefty, I want a lefty catcher, can we please put Willier back there? 1, I'd ask him what he's smoking, but 2, I would do it because, like, again, pitcher comfort is half the battle. Like, I don't want like that was one thing I thought was pretty underrated about, or under talked about, when they brought in like Danny Jansen a couple years ago. Is like, he had to learn an entire pitching staff on the fly, on top of like the fact that he wasn't hitting. That's not easy to do.
Nope.
So I want the starters to be comfortable who they're throwing to. And if it's Mickey Gasper and Connor Wong, I'm sorry, Carlos Narvaez, even though you're the best catcher of the 3, I guess you got to go down to Worcester, or they're going to house 3 catchers and hope it doesn't. I mean, I guess in this case, who would they call up if they were to send Narvaez down? Would it be Siegler at that point?
Siegler or Eaton.
Yeah, like, 'cause it's not going to be Campbell, because you're not going to call him up to be a part-timer. I don't know.
It might be Eaton just for the base running. The fact that he can play some infield. Not great or anything, but he's capable of it, in addition to obviously being a good outfielder and being a hell of a base runner. So I feel like it would be Eaton. But yeah, probably. Either way.
Is it possible? Do you give them any credit? Maybe they're showcasing some of these guys. Like, hey, this is what we have, because they could be sellers. And maybe Gasper's worth something to somebody somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah, you want a switch hitter that hits a ton of singles, walks a few times, and can stand at several positions.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think he's particularly good. It's weird because I don't think Mickey Gasper is particularly good at anything. He's just like all right at everything.
Right.
And like, you add that all together and you get a player that doesn't suck at baseball.
That's always key. Yeah.
And they're just, I guess, riding the hot hand with that. Like, I mean, Sogard's been dealing with an injury, but like two of the last 3 days, he has not played. And I wonder how much longer he will be in the major leagues as well. Like, the roster's in a weird spot. It's in a really weird spot right now. But I mean, hey, they've been playing better of late outside of the Braves series, but they've faced the best team in baseball too. Right. So like, I'll give them a little bit of grace losing that one. It's just the way that series ended was so bad.
Yeah. It's interesting when you say that, because it kind of reminds me of some conversations we had last season, except it's the worst version of the conversation from last season, where last season it was like, in terms of the roster crunch, it was like, we have so many good players, but no real great players. This season, we have so many okay players and very few good players, which is a much more depressing version of it.
Yeah.
But like, it is interesting how it like reflects over time, where like last year I was like, yeah, there's like too many good players here that they all need to play, but no true great players until Roman came up, really. And Bregman, I think, counts when he was healthy.
Right.
But this year it's like, yeah, Contreras and Abreu and Cedon are all good. But beyond that, and Duran's at least hitting now at least, but like beyond that, it's kind of trying to makeshift your way through a bunch of very, very flawed players.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of dudes who are just like, okay. And like, if Caleb Durbin wants to start being a good player, like that's fine. I mean, he's the early returns on whatever he did. I don't remember the facility he went to. It was not Driveline though. I'm sure Twitter is making sure everybody knows that. Arkham.
Yeah.
Arkham Asylum. Yeah, he broke out.
Yeah. But he had the early returns on his work to reinvent his swing have been pretty good. He's driving the ball the other way.
IKF is like mashing, which is so stupid.
It's hilarious. And like, maybe that's just how you got to go about it. Like, I mean, just Chad Tracy at the controls, similar to like Joe Mazzulla, where it's like, yeah, sometimes Luka Garza is just going to give you 25 and 12 off the bench. And sometimes he doesn't play at all. So like right now, IKF's in his Luka Garza run where he's just a lock for at least a hit, or he's like a lock for 2 hits. And if he only gets one, you know that's going to drive in a run. Like right now, his OPS is like 800. That's never happened in IKF's career. And he's driving the ball, which is also something.
And he's a plus defender, which has always been the case.
That's always been true.
No, the way he's playing right now is an incredibly valuable winning baseball player, which I didn't have on my bingo card, but here we are.
Yeah, he entered today with 0.9 wins above replacement. And like, again, like we want to talk trash about the fact they gave him $6 million for the season. Like if the season ended today, he would have been worth his pay.
What is Alex Bregman at coming into today?
Give me 1 sec. I will let you know. Alex Bregman is at 1.0.
Okay, so he's basically Alex Bregman.
Yeah, and if we want to talk OPS, Alex Bregman entering play today has a 695 OPS, and IKF, give me 1 sec, is at entering play today 781. So Isiah Kiner-Falefa has genuinely been a better baseball player than Alex Bregman, given like his sample. Obviously, Bregman's played like 2 times as much.
But if IKF played 2 times as much, it had the exact same numbers.
He wouldn't, but yes, I like where your brain is going here. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of what it's going to have to be. And if the Red Sox have any shot at like kind of treading water and maybe gaining a little bit in the standings while Roman is out for however long he's out for, it might genuinely have to be this. It's like you have to have a really quick trigger with guys when they're not going well. Like Sogard, when he came up, he started like the first 9 or 10 games after getting called up, or played in the first like 10 or 11, and he was playing really well. And then he's got this like little side injury in his last few games. He's not really done anything offensively, and like boom, he's out. But IKF's been hitting, so now IKF is playing, and he's also hitting like 5th, which is absurd, but it's working. And then when that stops working, then maybe like I know Caleb Durbin hit 7th today. Maybe Durbin goes up to the 5 spot if he's still hitting. It's just about optimizing. Like if you're riding the hot hand with a guy, you're also getting him as many plate appearances as possible, which is why Cedon was hitting 2nd. For a lot of the season, and initially today as well before he got scratched. But I don't know. I mean, I like seeing how Chad Tracy's mind works. I don't agree with it from a bullpen standpoint, but who do I ever agree with from a bullpen standpoint? I'm very opinionated when it comes to relievers. I don't know why, but I am. But from a lineup, I liked how he's open-minded with the lineup. Like it took,
Except when it comes to Massa.
except when it comes to Massa.
Who he hates.
Although he did play, 2 or 3 games in this series. I mean,
Didn't
they
he
kind of
let him have a glove today?
not on purpose.
Yeah, but like he could have put, I don't even know who in the outfield today, Monasterio or something deeply evil.
Devers brought Raffy back and stuck him in left because the Red Sox want him to play defense now. But it's nice to see how open-minded he's been, because like I remember how long did it take Alex Cora to pull the plug on Trevor Story hitting second? Too long. I mean,
and then there was the one game Caleb Durbin hit second, just to
yeah. I think Durbin. Yeah, it was the Cardinals series. Durbin hit second that whole series. Gross, but yeah. But hey, brings us to game 2, which was a much more fun one to talk about. They scored some runs, which is always nice, and they got a really nice start out of Sonny Gray. 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 run. It was earned. He walked 3 but struck out 7. His ERA down to 3.06 for the season. He's been awesome outside of the start before. His 2 twin starts, really, or like the Red start, his Red Sox debut, and his 2 twin starts were awful. And other than that, he's been pretty much fantastic every other time out. Brian, what are your thoughts on how Sonny Gray did in game 2 and just overall over the course of the season? Like, I think he's been a breath of fresh air. It's kind of sad that right now I have to count his days with the Red Sox.
Yeah, he pitched pretty good, and then he, missed a few games and he got hurt. And I'm like, okay, usually when those guys come back, usually it's okay, here we go, and they got to build up, and there's an issue. But no, he's been pretty solid. I mean, I think they're starting pitching for the most part outside of, Bello has been great. That's what makes it so frustrating, because it's like, hey, if they can score more than 3 runs, they can win just about every game they play. I think they were 18-5 or something crazy, or what. I forget what the stat was. There's some stupid number where, like, if they score more than 3 runs, they're unbeatable.
And all those losses are when they scored exactly 6.
Yep. So it's, but in this game they scored what? Was it 9-1 was the final in this one, I think, or something?
Yeah.
So I mean, it's, if Durbin can hit, if Gasper, they ride the hot hand, and we still, do we know what's going on with Roman's pinky? Is it torn and he needs surgery? Like, what's going on there? Didn't he say, like, in an interview, it's a torn pinky finger ligament?
It's his ring finger, but yes, it's a slight tear.
Okay, and then so is that going to heal with like stem cells or surgery, or we don't know, or we're just going to be
no idea. They're being really weird about it. Like, the Red Sox have been weird about it from Jump Street, about like how significant
the Red Sox being weird about an injury.
Right. Yeah, and then we don't have to go over the whole like Michael Hawley, Jarren Duran thing again, but like just the way that the whole Roman injuries unfolded, really not a great look for Jarren Duran at the end of the day.
I just wish I knew, like, okay, are you going to do surgery? You're not going to do surgery. Here's the timeline. Because right now it's like he's your best player, I guess, in theory, or it could be, or whatever. And they're starting to hit. And if you take a team that's starting to hit and then add him to that lineup, then it's a 4 or 5 run lineup possibly. And then the 3 games that you're out of the wild card, you probably make that up with a healthy Roman in your lineup. A healthy Roman, not like 80% or 70%. With the pitching they have. That's the frustrating thing. I mean, I've been a Red Sox fan my whole life, and they've never really had good pitching. They had like that one guy. They had a Clemens, they had a Pedro. 2004, everything came together. They had just a dog of a staff. But it's always been like pitching was always the problem. And then how long do we not have a closer for? We finally have, like, I know Whitlock's hurt, but you got Slayton's doing okay. You've got Chapman. You've got good starting pitching. Like, now they just can't hit. It's like, come on, like, figure it out.
Yeah, and I wonder, like, because with Roman specifically, he's too good to put on the 60-day IL at this point, because it's like if you could get him in 58 days, that's worth not putting him on the 60-day IL. Like, any time you can save Roman, like any time faster than 60 days you can get Roman Anthony back, is worth it. To not have to have him out for at least 6 days. But I do like, or I'm at the point now, especially now that but I mean, I guess it kind of same vibe. Now that Crochet's had a setback, like, who's going to play the next game for the Boston Red Sox between Roman Anthony, Garrett Crochet, Trevor Story, or Tristan Casas? Like, of those 4, who will play?
That's an incredible question.
Like I don't think there's a clear answer to it
No,
either.
there isn't.
Is there any news on Casas at all? Have they heard anything?
I remember last week they was like he might swing this weekend, and then nobody followed up on that because nobody cares to find out. Somebody needs to ask Chad Tracy if Tristan Casas swung last week, and if so, how did he feel? I mean, because it was the rib injury, because like his knee's fine now.
Right.
Now it's his ribs that are flaring up again.
I still think of those options, it's probably Roman, but like it's a great question. I think Story's last, but like the other three, it really could be in any order.
Yeah, and what
And
also
Casas does like playing minor league baseball count, or does that mean like in the big league?
no Boston Red Sox.
Okay, because like the thing is with him is like there's no clear pathway to the roster because the roster's a mess right now with Tristan.
I will
But
say though, not to cut you off,
Yeah.
but if Roman's not back, the DH spot is open, and like we know how they feel about Yoshida, and like I love Masa, but if my options are Casas or Yoshida, I'm siding with Tristan Casas. He's just a better hitter, obviously has more pop, even though we haven't seen him in a year.
Even the last
still-
time we did see him, he was bad.
That's true. Although he was starting to warm up a bit before the injury. Like he'd homered in like 2 of his last 3 games or something. And
Yeah, but there's also a chance it does bottom back out, which I doubt. I love Casas. I think the talent is super apparent with the guy. But, you know, it's been a long time since coming in second for Rookie of the Year at this point.
yeah.
Like, I think they're going to want to see it at the AAA level for at least a bit before he's just granted a pathway back to the big league club.
Did him or Story ever play for the Red Sox again, though? You think?
Well, my options are between the two of them who will play a game for the Red Sox next. I still probably side with Casas,
I do too.
but like barely. Like I could see it being like, I mean, because Story's out for maybe 10 weeks. So that puts us in, I mean, it's been what, 2 weeks since he had his surgery, a week since he's had his surgery. So that puts us in August. I could, if Casas doesn't have another setback, I could see him coming back up around the trade deadline, especially if you sell. Then like you're gonna need bodies on the major league roster, and Casas is gonna be on the 40-man, so he'll be.
So if you're good, you might not see him. Then is what you're saying. Like if they actually are a decent team, you know, I don't know. I mean, I want to see where Roman's going to do that. I think he's the linchpin there. Him and Crochet. If you get both of them back, this is a really different team.
Yeah, and they're treading water from a rotation standpoint or from a pitching staff standpoint. Like without Crochet, they've still competed. The problem is, and I looked at the stats entering the game today, they have the 8th best staff ERA since the day after Crochet's last start. The problem is, it's 4th in the American League East. Now it's 4th in the American League East, but they're 0.06 runs from the top spot. But like, you know, they've been competing. They've been treading water on the mound since Crochet got hurt. It's just you need that dude you can just hand the ball to every 5 days and know you're getting at worst 6 innings 2 earned, which they weren't getting out of him most of this season or half of his starts this season anyway. But like feasibly, and when he comes back, you'd imagine he's healed.
It just still blows my mind the White Sox are good. Like I'm like, come on, really? Holy shit!
Annoying,
right?
It's annoying. And it helps that like the Tigers are a nothing burger in the AL Central, and the Royals don't know how to win anything. And then it's like where are we at as a society where it's the Twins and the White Sox as like the two, or and I guess the Guardians too, but the Guardians are fake. As like the 3 like powerhouses of the American League Central. I don't know.
But like if this is a year that you can't get your fucking shit together until Labor Day, this is the year.
Yes.
You know, like if the Red Sox can't figure it out for like the next 2 months, that's okay because they're 3 games out. If they get like within the wild card now, and then I don't know, you get them a Garrett Crochet and a Roman Anthony to that team, that's got to make them better, right?
Yeah. What record? So like how far from the playoffs, or like what does their record have to be at the deadline for you to be like, I want them to buy still? Because I still like because I still think if you're within like 2.5 games of a playoff spot, you can't sell. You're too close, and you have enough talent on the team, like from a pitching
You do,
standpoint.
but let's say, like, God forbid, there's a big setback with both those guys we established earlier. Let's say there's a big setback with Anthony and Crochet, but let's even close the gap. Let's say you're one game out of a wild card spot, but neither of those two are coming back, and neither of those two are coming back.
I'm still buying.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm still buying the rotation. I mean, because like I just said, the rotation's still good enough without Garrett Crochet, where I feel. Maybe I don't feel great about them in the playoffs, but I feel pretty damn good about them getting there. And like I think with a favorable matchup going into October, you could probably win the wild card round, and then anything happens when you finally get into the playoffs. Because the experience I think still matters. If you have a guy like Wilson who's won a ring, you have a guy like Sonny Gray who's been around in the playoffs a lot. I know he doesn't have a sterling reputation in October. Chapman's won 2 rings. Like, you got guys who have won, and you've got guys that have been here that have been to the playoffs. I mean, granted, one of them's Connor Wong, but I mean, and like another, like, Sogard and guys like that. But like, I don't know. Like, IKF was in the World Series last year. Like, you've got dudes who have been in October, like guys who know what it takes to win there. I'm still buying, and maybe you're not. Maybe if you don't have Crochet, like if you don't have Crochet or Roman coming back at all this season. Maybe it's not like we're trading for Jordan kind of buy, but like I would buy. I would still try and get like a righty power bat that can go into like the 5 spot in the lineup. Like it doesn't have to be
who is that guy that they're looking for? Who like they're like, we need the right-handed bat. We want the right-handed bat.
It doesn't exist. The player they're looking for doesn't exist. The player they're looking for is Aaron Judge, and he doesn't. There's only one of them.
Yeah, it's a composite. That guy is like a fig Newton in your imagination, basically. It doesn't exist.
Yeah, because they want a dude who can defend, slug, not strike out.
Yeah, they want Bobby Witt Jr.
Want Bob. Yeah, and that's not happening.
Yeah, we're not getting it.
Do they want Franklin Arias? Is that the guy?
Could Franklin Arias make that jump? And like, do you want? I mean, like, I know in 2007 Ellsbury jumped from Double-A to the bigs, but like, I wouldn't want to put that on Franklin Arias.
Well, you're not putting it on him, but 2 months from now. If it's, the sky hasn't dropped yet. I mean, a meteor did hit, Massachusetts the other day.
That was insane.
Crazy shit just happened. Yeah.
Did you guys all hear it?
Oh, I thought like I thought it was like a bomb where I was, because I was in Brighton when it happened, and like I literally thought it was like a bomb going off, because like the whole house shook.
Mm-hmm.
Brian, did you hear it?
I heard it. I was driving, and I'm like, what the hell was that? And then, I called my wife. I'm like, did you hear that? And I was in Gloucester, and she was in, like, Belmont, and she heard it. I'm like, okay, so that's a wide range. I'm
in Rockland, and I heard it, too. Like, I'm 20 miles south of the city, and, like, I heard it as well. And I don't know. I mean, okay, I'm going to ask this, too, because I swear to God I heard more last night. Did you guys hear any more last night around like 8:30 p.m.? So maybe I might have just been paranoid because of the fact a meteor fucking hit in the afternoon. But like I heard like 10 more bangs. Like the last 2 were definitely fireworks, but the first like 8 did not sound like fireworks at all. They sounded like straight up explosions. Now maybe it was muffled by the walls, but I was losing my mind. I went outside a couple of times to check and like pray that I wasn't about to be struck down. But that was freaky.
Some bad Chipotle, maybe. Doing some damage.
Yeah, I did have fried food yesterday. It was possible. Maybe it was just my stomach. I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe. But the Red Sox are 2-0 since a meteor fucking hit. So maybe
that's all it took.
The energy is about to shift.
Yeah, the energy has shifted. That's right. Jalen was on.
A literal seismic change in the atmosphere has
allow Caleb Durbin and IKF to be above average hitters.
What were the chances that a meteor would strike Massachusetts or that Caleb Durbin would turn around the plate? Both are ridiculous. The odds.
I might throw out the 4-letter word if Caleb Durbin ever has a 3-hit game.
Uh-oh.
I'll throw it out there, and God forbid that 3-hit game features a home run. I will spread lies on the internet.
Off a position player again.
No, it's got to be off an actual living, breathing pitcher. Now maybe I'll throw the caveat in there. If it's a position player that's trying and like has a little bit of gas, like I mean, if like Nate Eaton was the pitcher, they're on 94, I'd count it.
Who's that utility guy on the Orioles a couple of years ago who used to come in and pitch sometimes?
Oh, Wilkerson.
Yeah,
He used to throw a knuckleball. Remember Chris Davis like got a win against the Red Sox?
Yes.
It's the last good thing he ever did after that contract he took.
Yeah, but he threw like 92 with a splitter. Like what?
Well, the Adderall helped. The Adderall that was
Yeah.
Yeah,
he was a demon. That Red Sox team was so bad because I remember like every once in a while I'll be like in a YouTube rabbit hole and I'll find that exact outing. The Red Sox had Marlon Byrd on that team.
Wow.
What on earth was going on in 2012 that we had like Nate Spears and Marlon Byrd in the same lineup? Disgusting. I would love to take that.
And then the next season, Marlon Byrd had a 5-win season.
Yeah, with the Pirates, right? No, it was
with the Mets, and then he got traded to the Pirates.
Right, and then he had a bomb off Cueto in the wild card game. Just a Marlon Byrd. What a player. And then he got like popped for PEDs, I think.
Yeah, he was a biogenesis guy.
Yeah, and then he stunk after that. But yeah, the Red Sox briefly had Marlon Byrd. I remember being hyped about that too because Marlon Byrd was like a good player and like he raked an MLB 2K11. I was a huge Marlon Byrd. Like I would always trade for him in my franchises and he would rake. But yeah, he stunk with the Red Sox. But anyway, back to game 2. Good game. They got multiple hits out of 4 guys in the lineup. Jarren Duran had 2. Isiah, Kiner-Falefa, Connor Wong, and Caleb Durbin all had 2. 3 of them drove in at least 2 runs.
Connor Wong had a home run for 5 minutes.
Actually, it's probably longer than that. That review took forever.
It's infuriating because in the moment I'm like, if you have to take this long, it's a home run. And then they show the clear angle that it's not. I'm like, okay, well, if you had that clear angle, why'd we take so long? Like it was absurd because either you have that shot, which they had where, yeah, it hits right where it hit. That's not a home run. That's fine. I'm okay with that. That's the correct legal decision. It didn't need to take that long. And if it did need to take that long, it's a home run because if you can't overturn it in that much time, you can't overturn it. It was just like an embarrassing umpiring display on that review.
Umpires in the series in general are pretty bad. There's the home plate umps, especially game 2 and 3, were atrocious. But yes, from that review was nuts. And like I feel bad for Connor Wong. Connor Wong seems like a genuinely likable dude. Just every time they actually stick a microphone in front of him and ask him questions, he always seems so like upbeat about the situation, and he's having a decent season offensively. Mm-hmm. He's still whoever he is, behind the plate. Although he's been like their best ABS guy, which I think is insane. He can't frame, he can't block, he can't throw runners out, but god damn it, does he know the strike zone?
He sees a lot of strikes.
I mean, imagine Kyle Schwarber back behind the plate with ABS. Because, like, oh my god, he'd be a butcher. But he would win every single ABS challenge.
He would. But yeah, it was a really nice offensive showing, and Sonny Gray had a really nice outing, and Jarren Duran is like a freak now suddenly with home runs every day now, it feels like.
This is like that run he went on in, July last year when he had that sort of run?
I thought that too, and then I looked back, he only hit 5 in July last year.
Really?
Yeah,
it was more.
The most he's ever had in a calendar month before this month was 7. I don't know what month that was, but they brought it up on the broadcast yesterday. But yeah, 9 in May, counting the Sunday game. It's crazy, how bad he was to start the year. Like he had a 45 WRC plus on May 15th or after May 15th. And then since then, it's doubled. He has been insane. The power is like, it shows that the power that he flashed in spring training wasn't just, smoke and mirrors. Like he's genuinely a power bat. And I just wonder how long this kind of bender is going to last for him because, right now he's swinging at like 30 to 35 is on the table. And I never thought I'd say that about Jarren Duran. I mean, I know I said in spring training, like maybe he could have his 2011 Ellsbury season where he, fakes his way into like high 20s for home runs. But like, the way he's swinging it, like Ellsbury had a lot of first row home runs. Duran is blasting these things out of the ballpark. Like 35 feels on the table, and maybe I'm just prisoner of the moment. But like he might lead he's one off the team leading home runs, which is both sad and impressive.
He leads the team in extra base hits over the past 3 years, hasn't he? Something crazy.
Yeah, he's an extra base hit fiend, and it helps that he's a psycho on the base paths and those ground balls up the middle. He takes the extra bag on, but like he's been really really good, and like pretty much since Roman went down, which is the right. If there was ever a time for him to be like, oh yeah, I'm good at baseball, it was then, and he's been fantastic. Since then. And like Craig Breslow vindicated again, don't address the outfield situation and your top guy dies, and now you don't need an outfield. Now you need all your outfielders to play.
Right.
Like, and also not just Roman going down, but Wilyer Abreu not having like any power anymore ever.
Yeah.
Like,
Is there an injury there, or is he just in a funk? What's going on there, you think?
I have no idea, because he's still hitting lefties really well. He's not hitting righties at all. This feels like he's just mishitting a lot of like pretty hittable pitches. Like he had 2 deep flyouts today that were registered as barrels on StatCast. But he doesn't like he hit 2 home runs in April. I think he hit 1 in May, or 2 more in May. He's not hitting for power, which is upsetting because he's starting to become like Mr. Hypothetical Man.
Right.
Where it's like, yeah, he could hit 30 home runs, and then it's like, hey, there he is with 17 again. But Duran's picked up the slack both for Roman being down and Wilyer being, singles McGee. But it's been nice. It's been a nice breath of fresh air seeing like, especially if they're going to hit him lead off. He needs to do something, and he has been, which is nice. They need that.
Yeah.
Beyond Sonny Gray, they got 3 scoreless innings out of the trio that everybody expected when the season began: Tyron Guerrero, Justin Slayton, and Danny Coulombe. I mean, it was 9-1, but they pinned down a 9-1 game. I really like Tyron Guerrero a lot.
I do too. He throws smoke.
And that's all he throws.
Right. He doesn't fuck around.
Yeah. He's like, I throw 102. I dare you to make contact with it. And they don't. Except for Michael Harris.
He's our Mizorowski.
Yeah. Except for 1 inning.
Better.
Less than an inning. But better. I don't know if you can say that this month. Mizorowski allowed 1 run in May.
All right. How many did Tyron Guerrero give up?
4.
That means he's 4 times as good.
You're right. That's how that works. That's how that works. I do like him though. Like, got up to I think 103 in game 2 of this series. He's just like 75% sinkers, and then his sliders 94 as well. So like you don't get a break from velocity from Tyron Guerrero, and obviously he's 1,000 feet tall, which is also fun. Yeah, he's nice. He's a solid player. I mean, two straight bad outings out of his first 3, but since then, all zeros out of him.
Mm-hmm.
And his under the hood metrics are really nice, even though his ERA I think is like 6.5 right now. But he's been a breath of fresh air.
Yep.
I just hope he's not this year's Jorge Alcala, where once everybody starts being like, this guy's good, he stops being good. I hope it's just real. It'd be nice to finally like spawn a reliever that's like a freak athlete and just is genuinely good. Yeah. And he deserves it too. He's more than paid his dues as a professional.
Yeah.
But yeah, anything else on game 2 worth noting before we get into game 3?
6 for 20 with runners on base, but I mean, they scored 9 runs, so you can't complain, right?
Yeah. They, 6 for 20, what? That's math. That's 300.
Yeah.
It's a solid. I mean, it could be better, but
20 guys on base, though, is just a great number. I mean, to have that, that's awesome.
Yeah, they've been doing a tremendous job of getting guys on, and then lately they've actually been plating them, which is a welcome sight. Outside of
you already brought it up, but imagine if Wilyer was like, I don't know, had like 10 home runs right now or 11, like the numbers that we put up would be insane.
Yeah, it's really alarming the power outage he has had, and maybe it's literally just as simple as like he caught it on this part of the bat instead of this part of the bat, and it's not.
Maybe they're pitching him differently too, because I think going into the season we all thought like, oh, he's the guy who's got to hit maybe 30 home runs. It's possible, and it's a league of it's a sport with adjustments, and they're like, okay, don't pitch to him here, don't pitch to him there,
Yeah, especially when I know like early in the season, kind of there was all the talk that like Willier struggles against high inside fastball, so he worked all offseason on that, and then he was hitting a lot of his home runs early in the season on high inside fastballs he was turning on, and now probably they get the memo. Okay, he hits those now.
Don't
Let's do something else.
And that's what they're doing. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's been using the other way a lot lately as well, which, I
Good.
mean, naturally will nerf the power a little bit. You're not going to drive the ball 430 feet the other way unless your name is Tristan Casas.
But you don't have to, Jordan. You can hit it 315 feet in Fenway and you're fine.
Yeah, but you still also have to hit it 40 feet in the air.
Okay, so you're hitting it 380 to left. I mean, that's more than capable, you know?
Yeah, no, he's a strong dude, but I feel like I don't know if maybe like Jack said with the high fastballs thing, but also the lefties thing. Like he clearly has figured something out against lefties. He's their best hitter against lefties, which is crazy to think
Yeah, he's
about.
hitting over 400 against lefties.
Nice. Yeah, and it's not like a lot of like weak ground balls that are finding the hole. Like he's spraying line drives, a lot of them through that like 5-6 hole.
Alex Cora was just holding him back against those lefties. What the hell was he doing?
Another mistake by Alex Cora. Another thing that literal Chad Tracy has gotten out of Willier Bray, even though it started with Cora, but we don't have to talk about that. But yeah, Red Sox win game 2, 9-1. Brings us to another rubber game, which the Red Sox love these. They also love losing them, which is another thing that's really frustrating. Today was their 13th game 3 of a series where they had a chance to win the series. They were 4-8 in those games coming into play today, and it was not pretty for a myriad of reasons, but they got it done today. And yeah, we'll start with Ranger Suarez, who had 10 Ks. It was a very non-Ranger Suarez-esque outing where he had 10 strikeouts, a bunch of whiffs, but didn't get deep into the game and gave up 4 earned runs. I'll throw it to you first, Jack. What were your thoughts on Rangers outing today?
Yeah, so I've only watched a little bit of it in the post game because I was listening to most of it on the radio in terms of the early portion of the game. But from seeing his last, I think I saw his last 2 innings, and then from what I heard, it definitely is an uncharacteristic Ranger game in the sense that, more runs than you'd expect, seems like he was kind of getting hit around a bit, but 10 strikeouts is, also not what you typically expect from him. But, is it, a kind of weird whatever outing where you're getting more strikeouts, but also allowing more base runners and as a result, more runs? Yeah, but it's also a game that you can totally win with a guy giving you 5 innings and 4 runs. It's not, what you signed him to do, but it's also not a panic game by any means. And luckily the team provided him some run support today. I think, the issue is most times this season Rangers started, if he does give this start, they lose. And, a game where you give up 4 runs and strike out 10 guys, that shouldn't be a game you punt. And they definitely didn't today, even though when I saw that lineup, especially once Cedon got scratched, I was like, uh-oh, this isn't going to go well. When I saw all 3 catchers and IKF and Durbin and Massa with a glove and Mickey in the 2-hole, I'm like, oh boy, this could get rough fast. But they're scoring. And if they're going to score without, especially not even if we're talking about not having Roman in the lineup, but not having Contreras and Cedon in the lineup, and they put up 9 runs. If the team as a whole wants to go on a bit of a heater for a bit, and I don't know how sustainable some of this is, especially IKF, but I'm not going to complain about it.
Yeah, and to Rangers' defense, 2 of those runs came as a byproduct of Yoshida losing a ball in the sun that plated a run, and then Chase DeLauder hit an RBI single the next batter to make it. I think at the time it was 4-3 Cleveland. So not necessarily all Rangers' fault, but he did come almost completely unglued, but then he pulled it together to strike out Kyle Manzardo and then Stuart Fairchild, who was the Red Sox MVP of this series, because Stuart Fairchild made contact, I think, precisely 0 times in all of his at-bats. I don't think he even fouled a pitch off. Every time Stuart Fairchild came up to the plate, I got secondhand embarrassment. Because he just a nightmare of a series from him. Obviously Steven Kwan has been out or was out this series. somebody said bereavement leave, but then somebody else said it was paternity leave. I don't know actually why Steven Kwan wasn't here for the
It could
series.
be both.
It could be both. I hope.
I sincerely hope it's not both.
I really hope it's just paternity leave. That would be a much happier reason for him to not be a part of the Cleveland Guardians this weekend. But, down one of their better players, and they missed him in this series. But the real story of this game, actually, I'll throw it to you first, Brian, on your thoughts on Rangers outing before we talk about the real controversy of this one.
Yeah, the Ranger game, it was like the flip side of the Peyton Tolley game where he had, 2 strikeouts, but it was 14 fly ball outs or something. It's kind of like, as long as they get it done, I don't care. Good pitchers can figure it out. The thing with Suarez, if he's got 10 strikeouts, he's not going to pitch that long because he just doesn't pitch that long. He doesn't throw 120 pitches a game. He just doesn't do that. So, with the strikeouts, yeah, that's great and all, and he gave up the 4 runs, but that he wasn't going to last long in that game. I think I was at a game, I think you were there too, Jordan, where I think he went 7 innings and he only threw 70-something pitches and they let him keep going. I mean, he can get
Tiger start.
Yeah.
Yeah, he went 8.
Yeah, he can go on a run. And, but things happen. You talk about the ball that, Yoshida couldn't find in the sun. These things happen. But I hate to keep beating a dead horse here, but when you give up 4 runs and you get a chance to win the game, it's such a different team. It's such a different sport. It's just so much more fun to watch, where I feel even maybe 3 weeks ago, if they gave up 4 runs in a game, I'd be like, all right, I'm putting something else on. I'm not watching this game. Where now they give up 4 runs, you're like, okay, I'll hang out for a couple innings. And then before you know it, it's 4-3 or 4-2 or something's happening, and they got a pulse right now. They're doing something. And they're doing it without Roman. They're doing it with, Mickey Gasper, they're doing it with whoever. And it just, if they get some type of consistency with 3 games out of the wild card, they're not that far out of it. When we talk so much shit about how these guys are just like, oh, it's a shit season, everything's awful, the sky is falling. If they get any type of consistency on offense, it's just a different team.
Yeah, good teams aren't 24-32, but the Red Sox right now, it's not they control their own destiny still. If they can consistently win, I think I said this maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago. The AL is so bad that if the Red Sox rattled off 12 of 15,
yep,
they really only have to play 500 ball the rest of the season, and they'll probably be there in the end. Now you have to go on a 12-3 stretch, and I don't know if they're capable of doing that. But this is like you said at the beginning, Brian. If there was ever a year where you don't have to have your shit together till Labor Day, it's this one, because the American League stinks. The White Sox are a playoff team right now, and I think the White Sox are a solid team, but they don't have Murakami for the next 6 weeks. So you can pick up some ground on them, and you've got this upcoming series with the Orioles. You have a chance to leapfrog them if you win that series, or sweep them. I think you'd have to,
But these seasons, Jordan, they play out. They're really strange, and it's easy to watch them in hindsight. But I remember in 04, it was 03, it was all right, we fucked up there. We left one on the table there against the Yankees. And 04, they were just kind of treading water. They traded Garcia Parra, and then they didn't really do much after that either. They kind of treaded some more water. And it took a while for them to really get a wagon and get good. So, when you're in May, we get, June coming up tomorrow, but they're doing okay. They're all right. They're not awful. Season's not over by any stretch. But what's nice, and I brought it up earlier, and you just brought it up again, the rest of the American League is doing nothing, absolutely nothing. So if you're gonna have a bad part of the season right now, this is the time to do it. The problem is everybody else is having that bad part of the season too. So those other teams will probably get good too. So you got to worry about that as well.
Yeah, 2 things really need to change. You need to start winning games against your division, and you need to start winning some games at home, because they're 9-19 at home. They're 2 games over 500 on the road. So the dam's got to break one way or the other. They either have to start losing. They're either going to start finally winning some home games, or they're going to bottom out on the road. And then obviously if they do that, then they're chalked as it is.
Mm-hmm.
But it's weird, because it's good teams aren't 24-32 through their first 56 games, but bad teams aren't good on the road. I mean, the Red Sox aren't good on the road, but 2 games over 500. If they were a 500 team at Fenway, they're a playoff team.
Yep.
And I don't know if they just put extra pressure on themselves at Fenway, if it's just kind of a perfect storm of you unfavorable matchups, like you draw Chris Sale in a series finale, and like what Whitlock goes down, so you don't have him at all in the Brave series at all, like, and you lose that game 1 because you have to go to Weissert in high leverage instead of Whitlock. Like, is it just a perfect storm of shit luck? I don't know. I don't know what it is, but like, they're still. I understand why fans are talking selling all of these players on the roster, but like, there's still so much time before July 31st. Like, at the end of June, they could be a 500 or better team, which would be on par with how they've been like the last half decade, where they ride where they're red hot going into the All-Star break, and we think they're World Series bound, and then whatever happens after happens after. But I do think, like you said, Brian, they give up 4 runs, and you're like, they're going to find a way to get to 4. Will they be able to score more than 4 is the question. But like, that they're going to they're going to be in the ball game, at least into the middle innings of it. It's just like, they're very clearly a bat or two short of like really being anything at all.
Right.
It's just, you gotta get to July within striking distance. And hopefully by then Roman's got his hand figured out and he's one of the 2 bats you're short. And then you can just go get another one at the end of July and see where you fall from there. But yeah, the controversy of this game, you go into the 7th inning, you're down 4-3 with 2 outs and the bases loaded, and Tim Herron, who's really, really, really good, especially against lefties, against Wilyer Abreu, who is also really good against lefties this year. 3-2 pitch. The Guardians, by the way, are out of challenges because J Ram decided he wanted to burn the last one on a clear strike in the 4th inning or 5th inning of this one. The Guardians did that 2 days in a row, by the way. Tim Herron just throws an absolute paint job, top high outside corner against Wilyer, who's already asking to challenge the call, which would have burned the Red Sox last one. But the ump throws Wilyer the biggest bailout of 2026 by calling it a ball, which the Guardians can't challenge, and it ties the game. And then the Red Sox proceed to plate 5 more runs in the inning, which completely hosed the Cleveland Guardians, but we take those in 2026. I know. It was nice to see the Red Sox get the I don't know what the opposite, the longer end of the stick on ABS. Never heard anyone say that, but like that's what I'm getting at. From an ABS standpoint, they had a really nice day with challenges. Durbin, didn't win his last one or win one in the 9th inning, but I think he was just kind of like, let's see if I can win it because we can't take them with us, and we're up by 5 runs.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was nice to see them finally have a nice day on the ABS side, and then like see them win a game because the other team had such a bad day from an ABS standpoint.
Yep.
So yeah, Wilyer walks, they tie the game. Yoshida 2 pitches later makes it 6-4 with a 2-run single. Then IKF smokes a single up the middle because of course he did, made it 7-4, and then Caleb Durbin with a 2-run triple, his first career triple, makes it 9-4, and that is the score that held to the final out. So nice win overall in this one for the Red Sox, despite being down 2 of their hottest bats and Wilson Contreras, who did end up playing the 9th inning at first base, which I don't know why.
Yeah.
They brought him in. I don't know if Gasper's hurt or whatever, but weird to see Wilson play the 9th inning of a 5-run game.
Sometimes they have appearance clauses in their contract, and you can throw them in there.
Maybe that's it.
Yeah.
Maybe that's it. It's just Chad Tracy doing right by his player and making sure he gets an appearance.
Yeah, you want $1 million? I'll help you out. Cut me in on that. Yeah.
Yeah. Throw him a bone and he skims him off the top for Chad Tracy. But yeah, down 2.
Everybody, yeah.
Yeah, down 2 of your hottest bats, you still scored 9 runs, even if it was helped out by the ABS system. Other note on offense, Jarren Duran with his 9th home run of the month of May. That's the first Red Sox to hit 9 home runs in a true month since Adam Duvall did it in August of 2023.
Wow.
Tyler O'Neill hit 9 between March and April of 2024. But that's obviously multiple months, but it's like a few days of March and then all of April. But yeah, the last one to do it in a legitimate calendar month since Adam Duvall in 2023.
Wow.
Crazy. And if he had somehow was able to sneak a 10th one, he would have been the first since Devers in 2022 to hit 10 in a month for the Red Sox, and that was also March/April, but all 10 of Devers' home runs were in April of that stretch.
Wow.
So, but yeah, another nice day at the office for the Red Sox, who now are 24-32. Anything else on this game before we get into the series preview? We're not. It's weird when the Red Sox were not winning these series on the weekends. We were running 2-hour pods, and now it's like hour 10. Let's preview the next series. Oh wait, before we do, did you guys see that video of the fan that like broke Jesus Sanchez's wrist today?
Yes.
Well, he didn't actually break it, but knocked him out of the game. Crazy. What a bizarre situation. They threw a child out of Camden Yards today.
Yeah, the second child to be banned from baseball in a calendar week, which is crazy.
Wait, what happened? What was the first one?
You didn't see that 12-year-old who got a 5-year suspension because his dad, who was the coach, told him to throw the ball full speed into the opposing dugout?
I did not see that.
Wow.
Yeah, I forget where it happened. It wasn't Massachusetts, but some little league pitcher. The dad got banned for life, and the kid got suspended for 5 years.
That is crazy. That is crazy. I did not see that. But yeah, apparently, Brian, you looked puzzled. Did you not see that happen?
I heard about it on Twitter, but I was working, so I didn't see what happened. But it is kind of wild.
Yeah, so apparently Jesus Sanchez was like having like a back and forth with a young fan in the crowd in their matchup today with the Orioles.
Mhm.
And he was like gesturing with his glove, like, "Oh, why don't you throw me the ball?" And the kid took it literally while Sanchez wasn't looking, and he threw the ball and it hit him like right here on his wrist.
Oh,
And
wow.
it did enough damage to take him out of the game.
Really?
X-rays were negative for a fracture, so Jesus Sanchez is fine. But yeah, the kid got thrown out of Camden Yards for doing that. What a bizarre situation! That like you never know what you're going to witness when you go to the ballpark any day.
Right.
Like a child getting kicked out of Camden Yards because Jesus Sanchez literally baited him into throwing him a baseball.
Well, that should be fun.
Yeah. Also, I don't know if you guys saw the video of like the tarps off people in St. Louis chanting overrated at PCA, but did you see the video of that one dude throwing the ball back?
Yeah.
The worst throw of all time, not counting mine, where he like smoked somebody in the first row trying to throw it back onto the field. I don't know, that person's first throw maybe ever, first day with his new hands. I don't know. Garbage throw. But like overrated is like you're begging for it at that point. It's like the most like you want a guy to homer, you start chanting overrated at him. It happens
that
every
never
time.
goes well.
Never goes
7
well.
scoreless from Mizorowski today, by the way.
Yeah,
Well,
he gave up 1 run in May.
Yeah. 3 hits, 8 strikeouts, no walks, no runs.
I saw this not to give free adverts. I'm not going to tell you which sports betting platform or what sports betting platform threw this tweet out there. It was, who do you think is the next person to strike out 20 guys in a game? Last one was Scherzer in 2016. It's got to be Jacob Mizorowski, right?
Yeah.
Like, hey, there's nobody else that comes close to how nasty he is. I know some Red Sox fan listening to this said Kyle Harrison because we got to be trolls in the Big 2-6, but like it's clearly Jacob Mizorowski.
Yeah, it's Mizorowski. The sleeper pick I'd throw out there, and like granted, like maybe if it was going to happen, it would have already happened. But like when Dylan Cease is going, Dylan Cease is capable of doing that as well, because he'll just have those like freaky games where like they swing and miss at every pitch he throws. So like he'd actually probably be number 2 on my big board, but yeah, it's Mizorowski.
Yeah, there aren't very many pitchers I think are genuinely capable of striking out 20. I saw some Red Sox fans today saying it could be Crochet. I don't think so, because I think when Crochet actually gets deep enough into a game to strike out that many guys, he's only really striking out like somewhere between 8 to 10 because he gets a lot of quick outs. Now maybe he runs into a game where he strikes out a bunch of dudes on 3 pitches. But like even like I think back to that White Sox start last year where he took a no-hitter into like the 7th inning. He only had like 8 Ks in that game. It's not like he was blowing people away.
Yeah.
I think if there were a Red Sox that was going to do it, I think Peyton Toley's crazy enough to do it. But if it's not him, I don't think it's anybody on the Red Sox. I think it'd be Miz. Then I'm with you on Cease being 2, and then like sneaky pick, I could see Blake Snell doing it if he ever is healthy enough to pitch more than 4 batters in a game again.
If Nolan McLean gets going, I could see it being him.
Yeah, and McLean's a good one too. And then like maybe to throw out a top 5. I don't really know if there's Skeens maybe.
Yeah, Skeens, DeGrom if just everything clicks.
Yeah. Other than that, I mean, Aori Perez is dead, so not him. Yeah, there's not. I mean, 20 is a ton.
Right.
It's like you could say any strikeout pitcher, and like nobody can really tell you you're wrong because it's something that may not happen for a long time.
Sale. Just
like Sale
to really fuck with the Red
Sox.
Sox.
Sale had 17 in a game with the Red Sox, so and I thought that he could have probably pitched the rest of that game to get to 20.
I was very upset when they took him out of that game.
Yeah, and then the 1 home run Brandon Workman gave up in 2019 to Charlie freaking Blackmon.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Some of my friends were at that game too, and like they were pissed about it.
Yeah, I think that was Chavis homered in that game. Then they lost in like 14 to the freaking Rockies.
It was like terrible weather that day too.
Yeah,
it was like freezing.
Yeah, guys they don't throw enough pitches anymore, Jordan. Though, like I'm looking at innings now. Like the guy who leads the league in innings right now is Christopher Sanchez. So he does throw.
Could do it.
Gavin Williams. Michael Wacha, which is funny.
Yeah, Wacha will definitely not be a 20 strikeout guy.
Yeah, Alcantara. I mean, Kirby. I don't know. Maybe I doubt it. But I bet you Gavin Williams and Sanchez. You need at least 10 Ks per 9 to do it. Minimum.
Yeah, you need a perfect balance of a dude who gets quick strikeouts against a lineup that strikes out a ton.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
I would say Eovaldi would have a chance because he can be in the zone for like a game where he's just amazing.
Yeah, but like I still think his career high for Ks is like 13. He's not even sniffed it. So like it's a tough one. If Miz is probably the likeliest, but then he faced the April 2026 Boston Red Sox. I think he only had like 6 Ks.
Right.
So granted, he was doing it in Boston. It was freezing out. So like maybe it's got to be like a hot day with the right strikeout pitcher against the worst strikeout lineup in the league to get to 20 punch outs, which I mean is kind of what happened with Scherzer in 2016, right? Because that Tigers team was butt cheeks in 2016. But yeah. Anyway, had to grift a few more minutes out of you guys before we go into the series preview with the Baltimore Orioles. Monday is an off day, so game 1 of this 3-game set with the Orioles at Fenway Park. So a nice opportunity to maybe jump them in the standings and win some games at Fenway, which the Red Sox don't like doing. Pitching matchups favor them though. Game 1, 6:45 start time on Tuesday. Shane Baz is a 4.48 ERA and a 4.09 FIP. He's going up against Conley Early, who is a 2.95 ERA and a 4.48 FIP. Game 2 is Chris Bassett, who has been awful this season for the Baltimore Orioles. 5.06 ERA, 4.54 FIP against Peyton Toley, who's been fantastic. 2.61 ERA with a 2.69 FIP. That's also a 6:45 start time on Wednesday. And then Thursday's game 3 against Trevor Rogers, who, oh my God, has he come back down to earth in the worst way. He came down to earth the way the Meteor came down to Cape Cod Bay.
Just going to say that.
He's been awful this season. A 6.84 ERA, 4.85 FIP. He's going up against whoever the Red Sox decide is going to open this game, but really Brayan Bello, who's got a 5.63 ERA and a 5.12 FIP. But as the Bolt guy, 0.71 ERA and a 1.68 FIP. That game is at 1:35, so another afternoon Thursday game at Fenway Park now it's the first series of June. So we'll see if June is a good month to the Boston Red Sox. I think they finished May like a game under 500 or maybe at 500. Maybe they can get above 500 in the month of June. For the month, not like this month be over 500. That's not going to happen. They're not going to, win 20 games in June. But yeah, Jack, I'll throw it to you first. How's this series going for the Sox?
You know what? Fuck it. Sweep. Because these Baltimore pitchers are really bad. The offense is coming back to life. The only game they won 2 out of 3 against Baltimore earlier in the year in Camden, and the only game they lost was back when Bello started, and he got shelved that game. If Bello's coming out of the bullpen, he probably doesn't get shelved, knock on wood.
Bullpen Bello, yeah.
Yeah, I think Tolley and Early are both firing on all cylinders right now, and Baltimore isn't playing good baseball on their end, and Bassett's been terrible, and Baz isn't bad, but he's also like not that good. He's just like a perfectly adequate starter, and Rogers has been a disaster. I think he's better than how he's pitched this year, but you also can't start him with any confidence right now. Like, he's going through his early season Brayan Bello arc at the moment, and they might need to start experimenting with something to mentally get him right. I'm going sweep here, and would I be shocked if they get swept? No, because this is the 2026 Red Sox. But
at Fenway,
I'll go for sweep. I'll have some confidence.
Brian, what do you think?
I always say sweep. Sometimes I'm right, but I got to agree with Jack on this one. This is where the season starts, I think, with the series. I think we had, Duran's been hot, 9 runs in back-to-back games. They fix their offense, I think. 3 catchers. Yeah, you're right. It's time. Let's get a sweep.
I wonder if they do have any games in the series where they have all 3 catchers in the lineup.
They got to. They have to now. That's how you win.
Yeah, that might be the.
That's how you game Trevor Rogers.
Yeah, he's just so confused by the fact you have 3 catchers in the lineup that
it makes absolutely no sense. That's why it works.
Yeah, precisely. And the Red Sox lit up Trevor Rogers in their first meeting against him. They got him out in like the second or third inning of that start.
Mm-hmm.
They gave him hell.
Yep.
And that was with like Trevor Story in the lineup. It's like, which is crazy to think about now, given the last 3 weeks of not seeing him play. But yeah, I'm with you guys on this being a good series for the Sox. I'm not going to go, I'm not going to let us be the Fox Sports panel of us all predicting sweeps. I will go 2 out of 3 because I don't think that they're physically capable of winning 3 games in a row at Fenway Park. Not yet.
That's fair. Which games do they lose?
That's the money question here. Weirdly enough, I think it'll be game 1 on Tuesday because Shane Baz, historically, he's a dude who can run up the punch outs as well. And the Red Sox, though they've been better, as far as like avoiding strikeouts lately, they're due for one where they just punch out like 12 times. And Baz is the most talented arm they're facing in this series. And Connolly, I don't think he'll be bad. But like Pete Alonso tends to have a pretty good series when he comes to Fenway. I could see Pete hitting a home run, which will get Twitter up in a shitstorm as is often the case. We got to pretend like Pete's having a good year because he hit a couple home runs at Fenway. I think they lose game 1. I think Tolley is going to take the pants off of Chris Bassett, no pause. Take the ripped pants off Jemai Webster, and then game 3, I think. This whole TBD Bello thing is working out outside of like from a Bello standpoint, it's working out. And I think if you only give up 4 runs to the Baltimore Orioles if you give up 4 runs to the Baltimore Orioles at max in this series, you're going to win these 3 games. I just don't know how they're going to do against Baz, but I think they take 2 of 3, but lose the first one. So get June off on the right foot, regardless, if you listen to the 3 of us. Which is nice. They desperately need a good month because, this month was okay, but they're running out of time before they have to have that first like really good month, and it'd be nice if they could just get it out of the way. But any final thoughts, boys?
No, I think that we got some games in June. We'll keep Jack away until they get comfortable. Jordan and I have a pretty good record. We go to wins, we go to losses. Jack, I don't know. We can kind of tell when he takes a left turn or a right turn on Boylston Street. We can kind of tell what's happening,
Yeah, we can tell if Jack is within like a 25-mile radius of Fenway Park.
Yeah. Do you have friends like that? I remember in 2004, my dad was we could tell when he'd come down from the kitchen because all of a sudden we'd go back upstairs. We were watching the game in the basement like all year, and you could tell where he was in the house by how close he was to the TV that we were watching the game. I'm like, Dad, go away. He's like, I just want to know what's going on.
No, it's like, no, they lose when you're looking.
And literally, he like it'd be a walk. He'd run upstairs. It was hilarious. I loved it. I mean, and then after they won in 04, it was okay. But like that year, it was like, no, go back upstairs. Go back upstairs.
We did that to my buddy Pat with the Celtics game 7 against the Sixers. Like they were down by like 10 going into the fourth quarter or whatever, and we had Pat like stand in the hallway. He could like poke his head in to like look at the TV, but like he was not allowed to put 2 feet in the living room where we were all watching the game. Oh, yeah. I'm very much superstitious like that. I remember in 2018 the World Series, we were like throwing that was like the era where people were like throwing like not trading cards, like cards with their fingers. Yep. Like that was like that point of the time. We got one lodged in the lamp above the TV, and I climbed up and grabbed it, and when I stepped down, I like twisted my ankle. And the Red Sox then won the World Series. So we were saying that I sacrificed my ankle for the Red Sox, and also for Gordon Hayward.
Team requires a blood sacrifice.
Yeah, so I don't know which one of us is willing to do it. I feel like I have had enough health problems in my life where it shouldn't be me. Now maybe that's selfish.
You put your time in. I think Jack and I might have to.
Yeah, I feel like
take an
I'm
injury for a short amount of time.
I'm the Tyron Guerrero of the three of us. I've paid my dues from a health standpoint, so one of you guys can do the blood sacrifice in 2026. But we'll at least see how long the meteor, gives the Red Sox good luck. Sure. But like if they rattle off like a 2-5 stretch,
they should have the meteor throw the first pitch if like they go on a tear.
Yeah, just get it out of Cape Cod Bay.
Or they just have them be the Meteors one night and sell jerseys.
Yeah, Tom Warner's ears just perked up when you said that. He's not listening to the pod, but he heard sell, and he was like, "Ooh, sales? We love that." Over under 2.5 sell the team chance this week.
I'll go under.
Yeah,
it's going to whichever game if they lose game 1, it's going to happen tomorrow or Tuesday,
yes,
or whichever game they lose. I hate that so much. I know that people have their opinions of John Henry, but like John Henry would just sell the Red Sox to another rich dude who wouldn't spend money. And like the Red Sox have a $260 million payroll. You should probably be able to win with that kind of money being spent on the roster. But that's just me. Anyway, that will do it for this edition of the Pesky Report. Again, episode 580 presented by Beyond the Monster and TJ Stats. Head on over to tjstats.ca. Promo code Pesky for 25% off your first month. For Brian and Jack, I'm Jordan. Until next time, peace out and go Sox.
Like this is called the Pesky Report. Like.